and let us all do we can to build a better future. Okay, this story you can argue is a bit of a nothing burger, but it's hilarious. It's funny to see. I would compare these people as a spider that's in a toilet bowl. You see it drowning, it's struggling to try and make it to the edge, and secretly you're kind of rooting for it. But you got to flush because it's a spider after all. Well, that's how I would compare people running in a Democratic primary of 2024. The game is rigged. We know it. I mean, I'm not going to say anything new that you haven't heard before, either on this show, Hard Lens Media, or Jimmy Dore, or Revolutionary Blackout Network, or Due Dissidents, or Indie News Network, etc., etc., etc. You've heard this before. It's nothing new. We know the system is rigged, and that the Democrats are all in for Joe Biden, the senile old man. 2020 will be a repeat of Trump versus Biden, two old men fighting over a cold bowl of soup. But apparently, people like Marianna Williamson and Cenk Uygar haven't got the memo yet. So let's get ready to laugh. I think we deserve a laugh. They're in another reality right now.
Where are the Democrats right now? Where is the serious counteroffensive?
As president, I would do everything possible to shore up a woman's right to choose.
The suppressing of women's free agency has been a cornerstone of oppressive regimes and institutions going back to ancient times. So this is as fundamental and as serious as it can get.
I would support any efforts, federally legislated, to protect the right of women to make their own.
Hey, Marianne, you do realize that a guy named Barack Obama, who was president in 2008, actually had a supermajority in the Senate and House, that he ran on codifying Roe v. Wade, but then he said, and I quote, it's not politically expendable at this time, so we can't do it. We don't have enough people to vote.
Reproductive choices.
Democrats have had opportunities over the last few years to codify women's reproductive rights. President Obama had said that he was going to make it part of his legislative priorities to pass the Freedom of Choice Act, and then he chose not to. So I think the Democrats have put people in such a double bind. If you say to people you're going to do things and then you don't, and then all you say is vote for us again, I think the Democrats, the president and Congress need to do a lot over the next few months.
If you tell a woman.
Okay, so wait a minute. Then why are you wasting your time? See, I think you owe Revolutionary Blackout Network, Nick, Sabby, CJ, Rome, a full-on apology. And by the way, I think also your team should send a nice letter and apology to Keaton from Due Dissidents. I mean, how many other people have told you that you're wasting your time? So many people were burnt in 2016 and 2020 by the Democrats, by Bernie Sanders, by this whole idea of, oh, yeah, we could change the party. Electoral politics in the Democratic primary is a waste of time. The game is rigged. Hell, being foolish and being idealistic, I thought that Bernie was going to be ready in 2020. I thought he was going to have a strong legal team. I thought he was going to have his people set and ready to really challenge what the Democrats were going to do after what happened to him in 2016, and I was wrong. You're wasting my time, Marianne.
Woman, she can't have an abortion. You're not just laying claim to what she does with her body right now. You're laying claim to saying what she has to do for the next 18 years of her life.
I believe and trust and have faith in the moral decision-making of the American woman. It's her decision. The government should have absolutely nothing to do with that.
Oh, yeah. Donate that money. Hang on. There's a little bit more of delusion right here.
This message is for those of you who keep saying that a vote for Marianne Williamson is just a vote for Trump.
How? You're in a primary. That is stupid. And whoever said that's stupid themselves, okay? The fact that you repeated it makes you even dumber, okay? All right, third parties get that in mass. Independents get that in mass. You're in the primary right now. You're not going to gain any momentum. You're not going to get any kind of delegates whatsoever, okay? So a vote for Marianne Williamson is like farting in the wind. It's going to disappear. It might smell, but it will disappear.
Well, first of all, in case you missed your 8th grade civics class, this is a primary. So a vote in the primary cannot be a spoiler vote. But more importantly than that,
the fact that you even had to explain that too. You repeated it. Like, no, Don't even acknowledge it. That was dumb.
A vote for Biden is a vote for Trump. If you even take away the issue about the polls, issues about his age, the issue for me is the fact that President Biden does not display the appropriate urgency regarding the fact that the average American is economically struggling. Half of American renters cannot afford that rent. 39% of Americans say they regularly skip meals in order to pay their rent. And this is in contrast to the fact that in the 1970s, we had a thriving middle class. Oh, but that was before that $50 trillion transfer of wealth out of the hands of the bottom 90%.
Yeah, and who helped that? I mean, it's easy to vilify Republicans. It's easy to vilify the Republican Party, but they had friends. You wouldn't believe it. But members of the Democratic Party themselves, who are actually still in power to this very day, people like Joe Biden, who said he'd gladly prostitute himself to corporations. All right, keep on a swinging, Marianne.
The Democratic Party should be saying that. And that is how we will defeat Donald Trump. We will defeat Donald Trump not by helping people, survive the fact that the whole thing is quite economically unjust. We will defeat Donald Trump by ending the injustice, by standing for Medicare for all and tuition-free college and tech school, using the Higher Education Act to actually get rid of all of those.
Hold on. I got a person in the live stream audience. Zombie in the Air says, Kit, you're unleashing a lot of violence on us. No, this is humor. This is somebody who is realizing she wasted a whole year. You got nothing in New Hampshire primary. You got nothing. Nada. Zilch, zero. And you're going to get nothing in South Carolina. You came in dead last.
College loan debts. We will win by standing for subsidized childcare, paid family leave, the fact that we need a guaranteed living wage, guaranteed sick pay. We need to wage peace. We need to move from a dirty economy into a clean economy. And don't go pretending that the president is the climate president, because he has given more oil drilling permits even than Donald.
I could have swore there were points when you were confronted during the 2020 election cycle how you would vote for Biden. So now what? It's now chic to be critical of Biden. Watch, as soon as she's done with her campaign, she's going to tell all you poor folk, that's what she's going to say. All you people better vote for Biden. She's going to tell all of us that. You, me, everybody. She's going to look down from her ivory towers and says, hey, poor people, you better vote for Biden because he cares about us. And then she's going to throw crumbs down. That's what she's going to do. That's what Marianne Williamson is going to do.
Donald Trump did, and young people will stay home in droves because of that. We need to declare a ceasefire. Yes, we do, because our highest allegiance is to humanity itself.
Didn't RBN try to explain that to you about Israel and what's happening in Gaza and the West Bank? And then you said to Nick that he was mansplaining to you. I remember that. I'm pretty sure a lot of my viewing audience remembers that.
So, no, Donald Trump will not be defeated by this leftover agenda, which leaves so many people struggling. I'm the one who can get in there with him because I'm the one who has a vision as bold as his.
No, you don't. No, you don't. And then, of course, hey, let's get ready to laugh at other people because it's easy to laugh at Marianne. I mean, she's in her own delusion. But then you also got this guy, Dean Phillips. I'll give him credit. At least out of all the sitting politicians in the Democratic Party, he has the courage to kind of maybe go up against, the whole establishment saying, hey, we're all in for Biden. But all right, let's hear what he has to say.
We have a crisis of participation. And I got to tell you guys, I went to a Donald Trump rally a couple nights ago. Never been to one. I had an event across the street. I saw the line of people waiting in the cold for hours. And I thought, what the heck? I'm going to be a leader who actually invites people, doesn't condemn them. Met probably 50 Trump people waiting in line. Every single one of them, thoughtful, hospitable, friendly. All of them so frustrated that they feel nobody's listening to them but Donald Trump. A diverse crowd, people who had never been to a Trump event before. My party is completely delusional right now.
And you're running in the primary. This is evidence of why it's a waste of time. So good luck to him. But then finally, I saved the most delicious morsel of them all. The one thing for us to laugh at. And I don't know what he's doing. But this tweet is sort of like, look at me, I need attention. In New Hampshire, Vermin Supreme, yes! Our ace in the hole, the guy who's going to save this country. Move over independents and Donald Trump. Vermin Supreme's going to save this country, okay? Was allowed on the ballot, and I wasn't. This is how it feels to be a second-class citizen. 24 million citizens are considered lower than vermin. If the natural-born clause has not been amended out of the Constitution, no one can argue it isn't discrimination. It's the law of the land. You have to be a natural-born citizen to run for president. Okay? Like, if Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't going to push the issue, you shouldn't be worried about it either. But you said he's going to be on your side, so I would love to see that. Nearly everyone, and this is how you know this is somebody begging. Like, look at me, I'm a victim. Nearly everyone in the comment section, as expected, thinks discrimination is awesome and hilarious. Ha ha ha, your own country doesn't trust you. It's not really your country. You don't belong here. No one's saying that. They're just calling you a fool because you're running in the Democratic primary, a system that you even covered on your show in 2016 on how it rigged Bernie Sanders, and yet you're participating in it. There's the same Democratic Party, Cenk, in which the squad members, in which you helped up with Kyle Kalinske, Dime Store M&M, set up the Justice Democrats, and none of those people go on your show anymore, Cenk. You see AOC or Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar or Anna Presley on your show? No. What about Bernie? No. By the way, the entire media and Democratic Party also agrees. Haha, you don't have the same rights as other people. That's so funny. No one's saying that. No one should even care about your rights. How dare you even fight for your rights? It's almost like they're outraged that I'm asking for equality. The law of the land, Cenk, is that you have to be a natural-born citizen of these United States. That's the law of the land. Simple as that, Cenk. And look. and it is rather serious. Like, here's the thing, Cenk. You're not even in the top 3, okay? Like, Vermin Supreme was up there, all right? So many other unprocessed write-ins were put in there. So are you even trying to find out, like, really, what your standing was in New Hampshire at all? Because, while you do have a show, you're saying you're trying to bring this issue up to the Supreme Court, you're wasting everyone's time because, again, you're running in a Democratic primary. And I want to pull this up here as well, and this should be the final nail in the coffin for people like Marianna Williamson and Dean Phillips and Cenk Uygar and anyone else in the Democratic primary. Biden seeks momentum boost in South Carolina. This is the same state in which the infamous Obama phone call happened, in which Buttigieg and the Globe dropped out and endorsed Biden, and Bernie became the nutless wonder that we all knew he was. President Biden, once again, is betting big on South Carolina, and you bet that the Clintons, the Obamas, everybody, it's going to be insufferable. They're going to make South Carolina like the end-all, be-all state because what? The predominantly black voters are going to turn out for Biden. Well, I've been covering on the show how black voters have been speaking out and not wanting to vote for Biden, wanting to vote for third parties or independents, or even voting for Trump. Surprise, surprise. Or either that, not voting at all. All this pressure. Anyone, listen, and this goes to everyone. Black voters, Latino voters, Asian voters, women voters, the LGBTQ, young people, old people, Gen X, boomers, millennials, Gen Z, all of you. You do realize these politicians don't like you. They don't think about you. They don't respect you. They're only placating to you. And the only reason why they have any kind of influence in your life is because we have a media system that is systematically designed to make you vote for Team Red or Team Blue. He will visit South Carolina on Saturday and spending significant time there in the lead up to the February 3rd primary to bolster his support with black voters and others who support he'll need come November. While South Carolina is not expected to be a competitive state in the general election, it could give him the boost his campaign has been lacking. It carries symbolic significance for him after an endorsement from Representative Jim Clyburn in 2020 turned around his primary run and led to him to win the White House. No, it wasn't only just Jim Clyburn. It was also Obama's phone call. Clyburn, in an interview with The Hill, said he thinks Biden's doing well in South Carolina primary next month would increase enthusiasm for Democrats. So, Cenk, Marianne, look. I'm going to sit down and talk to all 3 of you as though you're right here in the room with me. I know you guys wanted to pretend to be of significance, that you wanted to capture the lightning bolt that got Bernie Sanders to be in the front page. But people aren't buying that bull anymore. People don't want to listen to that anymore. People don't have time for that anymore. It's not worth our energy to think about, because we saw what happens when you decide to be part of the Democratic system for a primary in 2016 and 2020. You're wasting time and energy and finances on something that will get you nowhere. The game is rigged. you're losing. It's like playing at a mafia card game or even playing at a casino. No matter what, you're not going to win big. And even if you do, it'll only be a short time win until you owe the house or the mob money. And then you're in debt. And then you're embarrassed. And then you're being pushed around. You see, the Democratic system for the Democratic primary, they have superdelegates. They have people who already know who they want to be their dog, and it's old man Biden. So Cenk, Marianna, Representative Phillips. I like laughing. I like pointing at people's failures, especially when you know it's going to be a failure. You're wasting everyone's time. You could be doing so many other great things. Maybe helping up, movements and organizations not connected to Washington, D.C., supporting third parties and independents. I don't know. That could be more effective than what you're doing now. It's hilarious to see people struggle against this. But like anything, it's been funny. The joke's been played out. But wrap it up. It's going for Biden. The Democrats are going all in for Biden. Where's the enthusiasm at? It evaporated because people like Bernie, AOC, and the entire Democratic establishment got rid of it. So you must come to terms with this. When you get to the end of a book and you read the final chapter, you must close it. And that's what we must do for the entire Democratic primary. It's a foregone conclusion. The DNC establishment is going to have their pick. Gone are the days of the huge crowds filling up stadiums or filing out to meet somebody like Bernie and covering New York City miles with people wanting to listen to that man speak. Those days are gone, never to happen again.